What if one moment changed everything? What if, on that ordinary day, Izuku Midoriya never ran into All Might? No slime villain attack, no rescue, no conversation on the rooftop, no promise that a quirkless boy could become a hero. In that timeline, the entire world of My Hero Academia would look very different. This is the story of what might have happened if Deku never met All Might. Izuku Midoriya spent his entire childhood dreaming of becoming a hero. The problem was simple. In a world where almost everyone possessed extraordinary powers, Deku was one of the unlucky few. Yet despite years of bullying, especially from Katsuku Bakugo, he refused to give up his dream. But without meeting All Might, something crucial never happens. Deku never hears the words that change his life. You can become a hero. Instead, he continues believing what society has told him for years, that a quirkless person has no place among heroes. Slowly, his confidence begins to disappear. He still studies heroes obsessively, filling notebook after notebook with observations and strategies. But deep inside, he starts accepting that becoming a professional hero may be impossible. One day, the slime villain escapes. Just like in the original story, it captures Bakugo. Heroes struggle to stop it. Crowds gather. Everyone watches. But in this timeline, Deku is not there. He never rushes forward. He never risks his life to save his childhood rival. As a result, All Might never witnesses the selfless courage that convinced him Deku deserved one for all. Bakugo is eventually rescued by professional heroes. The incident ends, and All Might continues searching for a successor. All Might knows his time is running out. His injuries are worsening. He needs someone worthy to inherit One for All. Without Deku entering his life, his attention naturally turns elsewhere. One candidate stands above the rest. Mirio Togata. Already considered one of the strongest students at UA, Mirio possesses incredible skill, determination, and a heroic spirit. In fact, before choosing Deku, All Might's mentor had already suggested Mirio as the ideal successor. Without Deku, the choice becomes obvious. All Might passes One for All to Mirio, and everything changes. Mirio was already powerful. Now imagine him with One for All. His mastery of permeation allowed him to dodge attacks that most heroes could never avoid. Combined with the overwhelming strength of One for All, he becomes nearly unstoppable. Within a short time, Mirio emerges as the future symbol of peace. Many heroes begin believing he could eventually surpass even All Might himself. For the first time in years, society feels safe. But danger is still growing in the shadows. Soon, the hero killer Stain begins his campaign. In the original timeline, Deku played a critical role in stopping him. Without Deku, events unfold differently. Ida still seeks revenge for his brother, but this time he faces Stain with far less support. The battle becomes far more dangerous. Perhaps professional heroes eventually stop Stain. Perhaps Aida suffers devastating injuries. Either way, the outcome is much darker, and Stain's message spreads even further across society. Many future villains become inspired by his ideology, including a young man named Tomura Shigaraki. Shigaraki's rise becomes even more dangerous. In the original story, Deku repeatedly interfered with his plans. Now that obstacle no longer exists. The League of Villains expands. Recruitment becomes easier. Several heroes who survived in the original timeline may fall. As society weakens, Shigaraki gains more influence, and eventually, he receives the power enhancements that transform him into a monster capable of threatening the entire nation. When the final conflict arrives, the battlefield looks completely different. There is no Deku, no successor carrying the hopes of countless One for All users. Instead, Mirio stands at the center of humanity's resistance. Armed with One for All, he leads the heroes into battle. The clash between Mirio and Shigaraki becomes one of the greatest fights in history, a battle between the perfect hero and the ultimate villain. The outcome remains uncertain. Mirio possesses tremendous power and experience, but without Deku's unique connection to One for All and the vestiges inside it, some advantages may never emerge. The war could become far bloodier. Thousands more lives could be lost. The most interesting question is not whether heroes win. It is what happens to Deku. Without All Might, He never gains one for all, but he never loses his love for heroes either. Perhaps he becomes a strategist, helping heroes behind the scenes. Perhaps he joins the police force. Perhaps he designs support equipment. Or perhaps he spends the rest of his life wondering what could have been. A hero in spirit, even if not in title.